in 2022, 82% of the content consumed online is going to be video.
I think when it comes to video and education, it can be with anything. As soon as you're the trusted dude that people listen to.
Buckle up. It's the Insurance Dudes Podcast.
Yeah, which speaks to how important it is as the business owner to hire right. You got to look for the right people and fill those seats, especially in the places that you don't want to. It's not fun for you, right?
Right. Exactly. Yeah. I mean, because that's the thing too, is like the people that are good at sales or the people that want to talk to everybody are not the same people that are good, detail oriented, some of the integrators. And that's where, like, truth be told, I think I got really lucky. I'm the visionary and I'm thinking about, growth and all this stuff. I found my integrator. I'm using those terms because that book Traction by Gino Wickman is a great one where it's like, you've got a visionary and an integrator, and they're different people with different skill sets. Laura, who I brought onto my team, is for sure the integrator and is able to integrate and get things done and organized, where I'm the visionary. I'm talking to people, going 100 miles an hour, and I've got big dreams and big goals and big aspirations. But if you wanted me to put together systems and processes and do some of this integrating stuff, business would not run as smooth as it does today.
Right.
I would like to take this time to pivot into the insurance mortgage relationship. And I want to start off by asking, what do you look for in an insurance agent? So when you decide to partner with or bring them in your network, what are you looking for?
I think that the alignment for me is client experience, because this is something too that I think about with my relationship with insurance agents, the same way that realtors should look at mortgage folks, where mortgage professionals are able to funnel a lot of business to insurance agents, just like a great realtor can funnel a lot of business to me. And I remember, when I was first getting started, then we started doing more and more business, insurance agents would come and say, hey, here's what I can provide. Here's what I can do. And some of them would come and say, well, every deal you close, I'm going to give you a $25 Amazon gift card. And I had a few conversations where I said, I'm a straightforward guy. I always have been. And the $25 Amazon gift card really doesn't mean anything to me. What means more to me is that every client has such a great experience that they want to refer their family, their friends, their coworkers to me. And so what I look for in an insurance agent is the same thing I try to pitch to real estate agents. You refer someone to us, we're going to take great care of them. This whole process of buying a home, where you've got insurance agent, real estate agent, mortgage professional, title company, the notary who's signing the docs, even if it's not a piece that I'm connected to or have any control over, the client sees it all as one experience. And so
100%. Yeah.
The more that everybody does an amazing job for the client and provides that great client experience, the more referrals you get, the more referrals I get, the more referrals real estate agent gets. And so that's, for me, way high above anything else is client experience. Underneath client experience, is what people are going to say, I can get you a quote within an hour. I can do this, I've got multiple products, all that stuff. But the overarching thing is just give a 5-star client experience and you're going to earn my business, because that's what I want, because I'm looking out for my business, and my business drives and thrives off great client experiences that, once you have 1,000 closed clients, they're going to refer you a couple hundred deals a year if you did a good job. And so that's what I think about that.
What's a great way that an insurance agent can show you that? Because that's a hard thing to show right off the bat. What would make you believe that they could do that?
I think that in today's day and age, reputation isn't an hard thing to uncover. And locally, real estate is one of those things where all the pieces of real estate and all the people that work in those different businesses, you can't hide if you're an asshole. and if you're a rock star and you're great, you can't hide that either. I'll talk to somebody and you can ask somebody, what about this person? And everybody either raves, they're amazing, or the other way, they're stay the heck away from that person. And then a lot of people lie in the middle where it's I don't know who the heck that person is. The ones that are doing a good job, I think are also hopefully not keeping it a secret, right? I want everybody to know what a good job we're doing. So I'm not hiding any reviews. I'm going to continue to market and push the brand and let folks know like, hey, look, another 5-star review for my team who does a great job and whatnot. And so I think there's that. It's going to be the same for insurance agents that it is for me, where sometimes you're just going to have to say, give me a shot. And with a real estate agent who's never seen how my team operates, I can talk to them about how great we are and I can show them great reviews. But ultimately, it's like, you know what? Give me a shot. I think that I might align with you and how you do business, and your clients are going to benefit from a mortgage broker who's aligned with how you run your real estate team. And so the insurance agent could do the same thing. Hey, I noticed that, this is the type of clientele that you generally work with. Here's where your values are and what you're trying to do. If somebody came to me and said, as an insurance agent, like, I value educating the consumer and helping the consumer through education, knowing that like I put out a ton of stuff and that's a passion of mine as well. Like, that's going to be something that leads to like, oh yeah, maybe we do a few deals together and see if all the other stuff works as well.
So more than just an automated message on LinkedIn. Because I'm sure you get 1,000 of those.
The worst for me, is like are you able to take 7 to 13 new clients on per month? Like,
oh yeah,
ever worked on anybody? Like, I'm just going to open that LinkedIn message and be like, oh, you know what? I have been looking for 7 to 13 more clients per month.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm connecting with other loan officers like you. Do you have time available this afternoon for about 30 minutes? What?
I painted someone else's house
that
on your street.
Totally.
Read the neighborhood painting.
Dude, I want to find out. So like after that initial first couple times that you work with the insurance dude, other than just the client saying, yeah, he was great, what else are you looking for? Maybe that insurance people that you work with have done, maybe a couple extra things that you were like pretty impressed by that made you want to keep working with them.
Yeah. I mean, I think that when I think about a title company we send a lot of business to, insurance folks that we send a lot of business to, I think that it doesn't have to necessarily be anything extravagant, but kind of a reminder of, you and your team are great. You send us a lot of business. So on this, we did this for you. And some of that like above and beyond, where like I'm an easygoing guy, but I'm like, hey, if we open up 180 escrows with the same title company, maybe we get a little VIP service. Maybe, our stuff gets put in front of Joe Schmo who sends you 2 deals a year, right? Or like, which is even more important than that probably, is, hey, listen, you guys don't usually provide exceptions for something like this, but because of the relationship, you're able to take that to, regional vice president and say, hey, can we as a company eat this $800 cost so Matt or his client doesn't have to? I mean, that's how the world works, is like someone who sends you 2 deals a year, maybe not. But if I send you 180, the regional VP is like, yes, right? Because it's a relationship thing. And I think that that's one of those things that like over time, it's a really cool part about the industry is all the relationships that get built, because people are doing dozens of transactions together. And there's real estate agent partners of mine that know like, I'm a busy friggin' dude. And I'm working a lot of hours. I'm working really hard. I'm not usually going to come in the office at 1:00 to scan documents for a client, but for you, I will, right? And so the same thing on that side. And the other thing that comes to mind too is my style with consumers is like, keep it as simple as possible. And I want to explain it in layman's terms so that they understand it. I love it when my partners do the same thing for me. Like, I don't want to be an expert in insurance. But if you're like, hey, on this deal, here's what we had to do, and here's what we like the kind of policy we set up for Mr. Smith, and here's why, and not the 45-minute explanation. I want the 45-second explanation. And so I can just understand it on an easy level. Like, that kind of stuff is cool, so educating me a little bit along the way is something that, may not be important for everybody, but I certainly appreciate it and like it.
No, I agree with that. I mean, that's a huge thing with anybody, right? I mean, when you're working with anybody or you're purchasing something or your salespeople, just nobody wants to be bogged down with a bunch of details Nobody cares. Everybody wants to feel safe, well taken care of, whatever, that you're the expert. Okay, cool. And I guess in your case, I mean, it would be good. Hey, give me a couple great things about this policy that I could just talk to my client about like a normal person, right? That I don't have to memorize.
Right.
Yeah. I love that.
Yeah. I'm never going to be expert on the California Fair Plan or anything, but I can understand it on a third grader level.
That's all you need.
Love it, man. What are some other tidbits that you could give advice for, maybe from bad experiences working with insurance agents, some advice that you would give some insurance dudes out there?
I think and this goes for insurance or any other referral partner, you start to realize business is a lot more fun when you enjoy the people that you're doing business with. And so title company, insurance agent, real estate agent, anybody when you're rude or nasty or think you're wasting your time answering a question for us, that's someone we don't have to do business with. Right. And so I think if I tried to think about bad experiences, it was something that had to do with that, where it was I was, responded to in a nasty fashion or some sort of tone where it's that's a stupid question. I'm I guess this person doesn't ever want to do business again because I do business with somebody I like. And, truth be told, I'd rather wait 30 minutes for a policy, or I'd rather have other things be lacking, just attitude, right? Good attitude is important.
All right. A little choppy there, but Matt, if you could think of one thing for somebody jumping in new to the either, and I think there's so much similarity here. What do you think the most important thing somebody new coming into either the mortgage or insurance world should jump on right as they start?
Well, I got two pieces of advice because literally
you're allowed to, because we like you.
That YouTube live I've been doing, it's been interesting because it's got consumers and it's got new loan officers. And I'm
wow.
New, what should I do? And I think this works for mortgage or insurance or really anything. Is look to add value. And that's just the goal. You can do that in 1,000 different ways. I'm obviously super bullish on video. And I believe that by doing video on Instagram, YouTube, Facebook, you can do video wherever. You're able to talk to people at scale. And then when you do, of those 1,000 people, if 400 think I'm an idiot and 200 are that's not my style, the few hundred that like me and trust me and say, oh, that guy's got, some good information are going to be the ones that gravitate towards me and want to work with me. Right. And so concentrate on adding value, whichever way you can. That's how you create people who like and trust you, want to do business with you. And, I think for insurance, it's probably a smaller hurdle than it is in mortgage. In mortgage, I got to tell somebody this is the biggest financial transaction of your life. Me and my team are the people for you, right? When you're first getting started in that's a hard one, right? Versus somebody who's hey, I want to help you insure your 96 Corolla. I mean, not as big of a leap for somebody to take, but it's the same thing where you can show somebody, hey, I'm going to educate you and tell you why this policy over that policy and this one might look better, but here's what I know from studying the back end that's going to tell you this is what you want to do with this specific vehicle or this house or whatever policy you're writing, right? And I just happen to think that if you do that on video, you're going to reach more people and it's going to drive more business. And so, I can't say enough things about video, no matter what space you're in. I think, there's not a single business. Here's a stat too. I talked about this on a meeting a couple of weeks ago. In 2022, 82% of the content consumed online is going to be video. How crazy of a stat is that? Blogs are great. Long form content and other stuff, great. But when 82% of the stuff that's being consumed is video, you want to figure out how to fix your dryer, you're going to watch a YouTube video. Right. To figure out how to do just about anything, right? I don't know if I've ever typed in insurance related questions, but I would guess
people do.
Some people out there, right?
Yeah.
Videos on that. And so, video and add value. And a lot of times those things overlap because a good way to add value is education through video.
Love it.
I love that. And I think for insurance dudes, and this could probably work in mortgage too. I mean, I know of some people that, that have different groups that they're a part of. There's an insurance dude that's been on here that gave value to truckers about their insurance and stuff like that. So I think when it comes to video and education, it can be with anything. As soon as you're the trusted dude that people listen to, then it's like you could just pop in, hey, by the way, I also do mortgage. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it doesn't even have to, the videos don't even have to necessarily be mortgage. It could be a different topic. Like for insurance, it could be camping and RVs and educational and those where people ask questions. Oh, by the way, I can also insure your car, make sure you're all whatever. But
right. Yeah. Yeah. And I think that, like, to your point on that, if you're doing something for insurance or mortgage, I had a good call with my team last week where they said, hey, Matt, like, as much as you got a bunch of good mortgage content on Instagram, throw in some personal stuff. Because like you said, you might throw out something that's like, oh, hey, I really like to camp. And here's a hack I learned this last weekend, camp with my family. And that's mixed in with like really good insurance tips and whatnot. Like, people like to work with people that they can relate to, right? And so it's adding value through education, but then also just like you're a relatable human being. And I think that's what's going to continue to make your profession and my profession one that's not like click button, get mortgage, click button, get insurance. It's like, I want to talk to a human that says, oh yeah, I've dealt with clients who've had that specific type of need. And here's the type of policies you want for that. Right. And I know that because I've been doing this for 12 years. Like, that's something that a computer can't do. And in the mortgage side, you know, the computer is not going to be able to dig into the conversation. You're living in this house for X number of years. Your 17-year-old and your 14-year-old might be out of the house by this date. And so, you know, this is how you want to structure the mortgage because of your life and your specific scenario. Yeah.
Well, and even I'm sure for you, those details of that conversation of where it leads to is where you get the juicy stuff, right? It's where you're empathizing and talking about little Sammy and, oh, did you ever think about doing this? Well, let's do this. Or I'm sure you get a lot of information.
Oh, for sure. And that's what I tell people too, is the best advising and the high level advising is when you as the client and me as the professional come to a call, neither one of us knowing the answer or the solution. And then we talk through it and it like kind of presents itself. You know what?
Love it.
It seems kind of clear to me after these 8 minutes that we should probably do a 10-year fixed. What do you think? Yeah, I think you're right. And what you told me was this, and that's why I think this. And yeah, that's exactly right, Matt. Okay. Like, that's the kind of stuff that, like I said, is going to make it to where a human's going to be involved in this thing for many years to come. So any insurance agent or mortgage professional thinks that the computer's going to take their job, we should be safe as long as we're providing value.
Exactly.
Love it.
Great
Matt,
stuff.
That was awesome. So where can everybody see you? Sorry.
I would love for folks to go over to Matt the Mortgage Guy on YouTube. Yeah. And every Monday at 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, I'm doing the YouTube live. Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday right now is the schedule for releasing new videos. I've got, like I said, a library of 500 videos. I'm trying to educate folks. You know, there's a bunch of crappy information out on the internet. And so I gotta fight that. Gotta post some stuff out there for the good guys.
Yes. And so the Insurance Dudes podcast will go over there and follow Matt the Mortgage Guy. And so everybody on here, everybody on that's listening right now needs to go follow Matt. And then if you haven't followed us, what's wrong with you? Follow us too, and or subscribe, right? It's subscribe, click the little bell and all that stuff.
Yeah, whatever you got to do for the YouTube algorithm, I don't know. I think I got to say a rain dance or something for it.
Yes, rain dance. Right. And if you are going to start your own YouTube, just be patient and consistent, right? You'd have to just, there's an elbow at some point and it may be 2 years down the road, but once it takes off, it blows up.
Yeah. And you'll do it faster than I did. Because I promise you, mine was like a 5-year and then it took off. I think I had less than 100 subscribers for like 4 years.
Yeah, and ours is
like us, Greg.
Yeah, ours is finally like above 800, and it's like, oh wow, it seems like it's getting some momentum. So hopefully,
I'm gonna tell you something. Once you get to 1,000, it's gonna bump. And the secret is, even though you might in your gut think, I don't want to monetize the channel because it's just there for education, I just want to help people out. When you monetize it, YouTube says, oh,
they're playing, right?
And then they push you harder.
Yeah. Oh, it's all about the money.
Like March of last year, I had 1,000, and so like I've gone from
now you're
at 10,000.
Wow!
In the last 15 or 18 months.
Yeah,
cool. Well, congrats, man. That's huge.
That is awesome. Congratulations. The 10 pack of thousands is great for that's amazing. And it's been awesome to have you on, Matt. We look forward to releasing this and talking to you down the road.
Yeah, it was great talking to you guys. Thanks for having me, guys.
Thank you.
Yeah, thanks, Matt. Have a good one.
You too.
Hey, Jason. Yes, Mr. Craig.
That was another awesome episode, wasn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Well, if people want to get a little bit more action and learn how to do write 100,000 in premium
Yes.
off of even the worst internet leads, where could they go?
They can go to live.teledudes.com.
Ooh, that sounds exciting. Are we going to be there?
Yes, it's a weekly call that we're doing right now it's live, and it will show you the process. The entire process is super awesome.
I love it. Let's do it.
Let's do it. Sign up right now, live.teledudes.com.
Live.teledudes.com. That's live.teledudes.com.
Hey, Craig, there's a new community that we are starting that I cannot wait to tell everybody about. It is our live texting community where you and I are going to answer people's questions and give them free content, right?
Are you kidding me? We get to talk to them?
Yeah, which is awesome, but they have to opt in. They have to text us at 520-214-2219. That's 520-214-2219.
Nice.
Craig, are you going to respond to these texts?
I'm going to respond to them for sure. Live.
I'm into it too. It's going to be awesome. And it's going to be our new texting community where we're going to get back to everybody that we can and drop some crazy content, free content, and free the calculator that you just came up with. That's right. The calling calculator, sales material. I mean, everything for insurance agents. This is it. It's the best texting community out there for insurance agents.
Well, what the heck is that number again? I can't remember it.
It's 520-214-2219. That's 520-214-2219.
I love it. I'm going to text it right now.
520-214-2219.
All right. I'll see you later, Mr. Jason.
Bye, Mr. Craig.
Wait, do they even listen to this on the radio anymore?
I love it. I love it.
Nice.
All right.